Good morning, my people. Welcome to another edition of Real Talk TV. We're live here today on the day after the so-called big holidays that everybody celebrate. Everybody, they dive deep into that crash where we go so high, then we go so low. But there's another word called CRAS, crash commercialism. And that's what we indulge in every day, every end of the year and so forth. I want to get in a few topics. Happy Kwanzaa, first day of Kwanzaa today. And I'm going to bring up the Kwanzaa graphic. And we're going to talk a little bit about Kwanzaa. I have a little rant I want to do before we start Kwanzaa. Today is Ujamaa, unity, the 7 principles of Kwanzaa. I will take this other graphic down right here. Again, I am a one-man band. I want to thank the staff and management of AOC Community Media for giving me this opportunity to come to you every other Tuesday. And starting in January, we'll be every other Tuesday live from any location. We could be anywhere. We in the Real Talk Studios at an undisclosed location. Shout out to Sister Khadijah and Brother Shaheed. Always got my back. Shout out to Brother Wallace Senegal. Shout out to Brother Keith Falk and all those in the circle and all those who want to get into the whole process of putting on their own media operation. And we do this simply for the love of the community. And again, I'm here to talk about Kwanzaa today, but I got a little rant I want to go off into. It's very important to me that sometimes we deal with things that so egregiously wrong. I had an issue, I'm gonna bring it up right quick. I had an issue concerning a difficult situation with a car company. Whenever I could get my graphic up, boy, sometimes the gremlins the devils are in the details. And I had an incident with a car we had purchased from, and I'm going to say it on this station, and the only reason I'm saying it because I could have lost my life, and I want to make sure nobody has to go through what I went through. Clean Slate Motors here in the city of Lafayette. They should be ashamed of themselves. The insurance company, Roan Insurance Agency here in Lafayette, should be ashamed of themselves. And Blue Fire, the national insurance company out of Irving, Texas, they should be ashamed of themselves. They are putting me through pure hell. We purchased a car. Me and a partner, we purchased a vehicle. And the names are not being mentioned as far as the family members because we want to protect the innocent. We purchased a vehicle from Clean Slate Motors in August. It hadn't been 4 months, and this car just burst into flames. We was having mechanical issues. We reported that to them. We was assured when we purchased this vehicle, paying high notes on this vehicle, that when we purchased the insurance from Roan Insurance Agency and Blue Fire, that we was going to have adequate coverage for comprehensive damages, liability, and collision. Well, it's been a month. This happened on December the 1st. They haven't done the insurance company, Clean Slate Motors, after stealing all of the hard-earned money put into this vehicle, meaning you pay your notes, you pay your insurance on time, and they haven't done nothing other than question and ask for unreasonable requests concerning their so-called investigation. After the Iberia Parish Sheriff Department took notice and took information from me because I was the one driving the vehicle. And the Iberia Fire Department District, they responded. They noticed it was a vehicle fire. Now, why would Clean Slate Motors, why would Roan Insurance Agency, and I'm naming all of them because I am upset, and I would do everything possible, whatever media platforms I get on to expose this. I don't want this happening to nobody because you could have lost your life. Look at that fire out there. It started smoking, then it burst into flames. and they have the gall to ask me for my cell phone records for December, for the whole month of December. They didn't word it no other way, and I'm going by what they say legalese. Oh, we just want to ping the tower to know where you at. Well, ping the car. The car had all that data. Ping the Iberia Parish Sheriff Department. Ping the New Iberia Fire Department. They could tell you what happened. And I provided them everything that they needed, but yet they want to dig into my privacy of who I talked to for the whole month of December, and that happened on December the 1st. This is so ridiculous. The only thing, talking to other legal experts from around the country about this issue, discrimination, because the parties involved are black. I am black, and they want to make sure that we have all types of obstacles to go through in order not to get compensated for the damage caused by this car. And so now I am on a mission to expose Clean Slate Motors. All you have to do is go and check out the reviews on this company, even Blue Fire Insurance, the national insurance out of Texas. Go and check out the reviews. This has been reported to Louisiana Insurance Commission. This has been reported to the Texas Insurance Commission, for which Blue Fire Insurance. And I want all parties responsible for my pain and suffering, what I had to go through, to be put on notice that I will not stop any platform I could get on and say what I say. And if AOC kicked me off today, I appreciate AOC, but I have to talk about this. You don't want your loved one. I could have had one of my granddaughters in the car with this happening. The insurance company, what would they have done? Nothing for me. What would the Clean Slate Motors, after 4 months of paying $500 plus notes on this 2016 Ford Fusion, what would they have done? Nothing. And it's a sin and a shame that black folks have to go through this with companies to prove that they're honest people. We're honest when we give them our money. When we give them our $2,000 plus a security deposit of another $1,000, we're honest by giving them that money, and they're taking it every month and remind you to pay your notes and your bill, right? Okay, so how could this happen? It only happens in the state of Louisiana, where people just get away with everything. Everything. So all you young ladies who are about to purchase a vehicle, hardworking ladies, hardworking young brothers, using your income tax refund, do not go to Clean Slate Motors. I will be out there soon in front of them with a sign, and we hope to get people involved to let them know that the insurance company that they sent us to, it's a scam. The insurance agency, Roan Insurance Agency, you were just as responsible for that. Blue Fire, the national agent covering the car, you're responsible for all of this. And you took people money, you stole people money, and you don't give a damn about the person. So that's my rant right after the so-called Christmas holiday. If you want to see a real live Grinch, go to Clean Slate Motors, buy insurance from Roan Insurance Agency, and pay your premiums to a Blue Fire Insurance Company based out of Dallas. That's the real Grinch if there's a proverbial Grinch going on. Now, enough of my rant, people. I want to get back into the heart of the show. Happy Kwanzaa again. We have our good brother Takuna. I want to play a clip from him, and I'm gonna dive into that clip in a minute. And let's see. We'll pull it up right here, and hope we could get into Brother Takuna. I wonder what Brother Takuna had to say, the late great Brother Takuna El-Shabazz.
Things you know are wrong and must be corrected. And as you refuse to do so, because you refuse to be black and African, then you expect your children to be obedient and acceptable to others when they, by their very nature, can't reach any fulfillment because they're not themselves. Listen, culture and history is like water and sunshine to a plant. You might go to a nursery and buy a plant, and that plant may look vibrant and healthy inside of a nursery because that nursery make sure that it's watered at a certain time. It get a certain amount of sunlight. And then you purchase that plant because you are drawn to the firmness and the healthiness of that plant. But you take that plant home. That plant comes with direction. Put in direct sunlight. Water 3 or 4 times a day. But in your ignorance, you don't read the instructions, or you ignore the instructions for care. And you take that plant and you put it in a shaded part of the house because you're more concerned with the aesthetics and your vanity in terms of how the plant looks in a particular area of the house. Well, the strength and the vibrant plant will look as it looked at the nursery for a day or so. And then, after several days, you will begin to see the plant leaves begin to droop. The plant that's supposed to bud and give flowers don't give flowers. The plant is in the same flower pot. The plant has the same ability to grow to its full potential if properly taken care of, but because you have it in the shaded area of the house to satisfy your vanity, you refuse to put it in the direct sun. But the direct sun gives the life to the plant. The water alone will help the plant survive a little longer, but it's in the process of declining because it does not have the sunlight and the water, all that it needs. And when the plant dies, we say that we don't have the ability to grow anything. No, what you don't have the ability to do or refuse to do is follow the instructions that is necessary for the life-sustaining treatment for the plant. So the plant dies. Like our children. You want our communities to change? You want a different kind of leadership?
And as a psychologist, I recognize the importance of Kwanzaa for mental health and well-being. Because what happens is that we celebrate as a people rituals of other people that affirm other people's reality. So much so that our children don't know who they are, right? And we can't be who we are, and therefore we're confused about why we are.
Yes,
and so if you don't know who you are, why, right? If you don't know your history, you don't understand your present, you can't possibly understand your future. So Kwanzaa then is about understanding the historical connection that we have with an ancestral legacy of greatness. And so I'm thankful to my elder, Dr. Mailana Karinga, for conceptualizing a ritual, a celebration of African culture, values, and beliefs, so that we can begin to become more grounded in who we are as a people, and not simply exist as hydrostatic plants with no particular roots whatsoever.
You know, Brother Mawata, one of the personal desires that I would have right now, if I could fulfill that desire, would be to expose your message to the entire black community in terms of the substance of what you brought to us. You know, we are bitten here by a cultural genocidal plot where every black person or anything of worth and anything of accomplishment that is worthy of speaking of comes under the history and culture label of another people in the form of Cajun or Acadiana. Now, this not only is inaccurate in terms of our representation, as you know, in this area, but it also adds insult to injury when you know the historical background that the word Cajun or the term Cajun and nigger were synonymous slurs. Now, black folks don't seem to be upset with that, not because they don't that they enjoy being called nigger, but the fact that they don't understand the historical connection between the derogatory term nigger and the origin of Cajun. I would certainly be willing to spread this message that you have delivered tonight to our people, that we might be healed maybe from this local crisis and genocidal plot that is against black people. You have said in your lecture how important culture is and how important history is. And the absence of that understanding of history and culture, we are doomed to repeat the past. And it does not empower us economically, politically, educationally, and otherwise. We remain weak. I know you're not familiar perhaps with the whole Cajun issue, but in the context of what I just said, if we as a people continue to allow ourselves to be misrepresented under the Cajun Acadiana label, what you perceive in your line of work would be the mental condition or state in 10 years if we don't make a drastic change in addressing this issue.
So there's somebody I know that has written a book on this topic. All I got to do is read the book. You ask me about, do I know? I read the book. So tell everybody about the book that you've written, right? So I'm going to switch it just for a moment so they get the title, and then I can go to everything else you asked about.
Black I am, Cajun Creole I am not.
And so that's a powerful, eye-opening book, because several things must be understood. The idea of controlling somebody's history, right? So Dr. Woodson says that when you control a man's thinking, you don't worry about his action. You tell him to come here, to go there. He will find his place and he will stay in it, right? And so that is a part of the conditioning that is taking place. The other suggestion about, if you understand, Dr. Nobles talks about understanding that when you have a process by which you can control the existence of someone, to begin to have them to believe that a narrative that's outside of them is their own narrative, then you have them under your control as well. And so he talks about power is the ability to define reality and have others to respond to them as if it were their own. And so you talk about the issue of labeling through terminology.
Yes, sir.
And so nomenclature is very important. So nigga, we identify as a cultural group with nigga, and we say, when I say nigga, this is what I mean. But you cannot use nigga and friend interchangeable, right? They don't move together. So I can F a nigga up, but I can't F my friend up. So nigga and friend can't be the same thing, right? Yes, and we talk about Cajun, the idea of a derogatory nomenclature. Even Redskins, talking about the Washington Redskins in D.C. So they utilize this nomenclature, and then we identify with it as the highest order of communication, right? And it is the issue of dehumanization. Not only do we identify with terms like Cajun and nigga, but we also to call one another dog. So if I call you my dog, by default I call your mama a bitch. And so both of those are non-human entities, right? And so we understand that Europeans created a non-human entity within us to make us believe that we were worthless, while at the same time, as you suggested, they control our genius. And so we believe that we're niggas, we believe that we're bitches, we believe that we're dogs, we believe all those things, but not that we are great, not that we've shaped history, not that we are those that make things wonderful, great today, not that we made the air conditioning, the light, the shoe lasting machine, not that we invented science and mathematical technology. No, we believe that the best we have to offer is been a nigga, bitch, and a hoe. And so we have to recognize that particular process controls the African genius. And so we don't have to honor that. What we are charged with honoring, which was a major part of the message today, is honoring the genius that you've been born with. And first of all, to know that it's there, you got to stop and say, wait a minute, I know that I'm none of those things that I've been told. I don't believe those things. Now let me research, who am I? And so your book talks about I am. And the I am is what follows behind that, is what is the thing that becomes. I am, whatever it is the thing. So when you begin to research this, you say, wait a minute, I am an heir of greatness, right? I come from a legacy of brilliant people. I come from all this, and you start researching more and more, and you will unpack so many things about who you are just through history. So understand why you're here today. Look at what came before you. Understand where you have to go for tomorrow. Begin to look at the unfinished business of yesterday, right? And so those things inform us. So we need to do more studying about who we are and not believe the oppressor about who we are not.
You heard the words of Brother Mawata, our speaker for tonight at the Kwanzaa at Imani Temple number 49 in Lafayette, Louisiana, December 28th. The wisdom that he shared with us tonight is a life's lesson. And again, our brother Mawata, we thank you for gracing our presence,
you so much.
in here in the Lafayette area. Thank you, sir. Assalamu alaikum.
Yes, people, I really appreciate this from Brother Takuna. One of the things I want to say, I got an echo in the back, so when you're a one-man band, one of my moms is running in the background. So I'm gonna put this graphic up again, and I will also turn down this monitor right quick. We want to talk about Kwanzaa today. Happy Kwanzaa. Umoja, which is unity. I pronounced it wrong. Again, I tend to gloss over a lot of things. I got so much information always coming at me, and I gloss over things I never really study when I'm doing a show, because I'm doing some other shows, and then I have to put a show together at the last moment. And I thought this was an excellent time to use the time I have with AOC to bring this up to date. Again, if you want to call in, we have a call-in number. I'm going to run it on the screen. Let's see, we'll pull up that graphic also. The technology is amazing, but again, when you're doing it by yourself from an undisclosed location, you have a tendency to do these things right here. So, Ujamaa unity, we don't have that in our community. You just got to be honest. We don't have it in the form of how it should be. So let's start or finish the end of the year by looking at this word right here. And I have a clip also from Brother Takuna when he was graced our studio at the Open Line Radio Show, heard locally on 88.3. He had a chance to interview the founder of Kwanzaa, and that was Dr. Karenga. And Dr. Karenga intentions, I think his intentions were more to look at a celebration that we could all agree, be in tune to, and we could all agree on. And Brother Takuna did an excellent job in the interview. Also, Sister Khadija had a chance the year before to interview Dr. Karenga. So we were the first media operation to bring Dr. Karenga on those media platforms here in the South Louisiana, the Lafayette area. Again, study the chart, start trying to do some of the intentions of what Dr. Karenga intended. Again, he did it, he said, not for himself, but for the people of the community, especially the black community in the global diaspora. So again, I'm gonna play another clip. If you want to call in, the number to call in is area code 337-983-6080. Anytime you want to call in, I could stop the clip if a clip is running, and we could dive into it. This show is live today, December 26th, the day after the other big holiday that people celebrate. One where we all just empty our pocketbooks to the corporate bottom line. So we gotta remember that it's a corporate grab. These things. I want to also read something I'm looking at on the Louisiana Illuminator website. It might be of importance, since the state of Louisiana just kicked off a couple of thousands of people off of Medicaid expansion. I think that's what it is. But woe is us that the governor-elect, incoming governor in January, will be appointing former Congressman Ralph Abraham. he would become the new Louisiana Department of Health Secretary. Now, Louisiana is already last in health outcomes. Don't believe nothing I say. Google the issue and you'll find out. And let me read his bio. He's a staunch Trumpite. Remember, Trump just mentioned, and again, I say Trump is not the problem. It's the mindset of those people. That's the reason they celebrate Trump. Y'all keep thinking it's Trump coming up with these ideas, this Nazi mindset. No, it's the people around him coming up with these Nazi mindset. And what Trump said is so telling, and he's only carrying the message of the people out there in Youngsville, the people out there in Lafayette who overwhelmingly voted for Donald Trump and Republicans alike and Jeff Landry. He said they got the immigrants, which are the Africans. He mentioned the Africans, the Asians, and the Hispanics are poisoning the blood of the American system, the American people. Now, what he mean by that? How are they poisoning the blood? Well, I might not agree that I see nothing but Hispanics harboring the sugarcane, but then again, people don't want to do that job. So they got Hispanics and migrants harvesting the sugarcane crop, which is a big deal out here in South Louisiana. I don't want to get into whether or not it's right or wrong about all that sugarcane they're growing, but the whole notion that they pit people against each other. Now, even in the construction industry, you see Hispanic. So the same people, you get the support from the contractors union, the contractors and the Sugarcane Farmers Association. They take tons of money and put it into the Conservatives and Republican Party. So when they got us out there believing that they're against these immigrants and these migrants, they are the same people who are bringing them in. So Jeff Landry, you had migrants and immigrants working on some of your side projects. A lot of these politicians lie to you and keep you doing things. Donald Trump himself have a lot of migrants and immigrants working at some of his so-called businesses operation out there in Florida and other places. So they tell us that they want to, curtail that. But I think what they're doing is they're doing the so-called replacement theory. They're trying to replace black folks here in America with other nationalities. Brother Darren Muhammad said, the hierarchy is like white folks on top, everybody else in the middle, and black folks in the bottom. That's how it's always been and how it's always going to be. No matter how much you rise and you want to build this big old house in Youngsville and think you're getting away from racism, you won't get away from it so long until they start targeting you. So remember that, people. Go and look at the statistics. They don't lie. So again, Ralph Abraham will become the Louisiana Department of Health Secretary. Abraham, a Republican from Alto in Richland Parish, is a primary care doctor who practiced medicine in rural Northeast Louisiana. Also a former veterinarian. Wow. This is who we got to fix a complex problem with the health issues in the state of Louisiana, where we have a burgeoning elderly population. We got high rates of cancer, liver disease, people on dialysis, kidney failure. We got all of these problems. We got a somewhat dismal record when it comes to black women prenatal care and pregnancy and so forth. So good luck, Louisiana. That's all I could say. The next 4 years are gonna be telling. So again, in the spirit of Kwanzaa, I'm gonna go back to Dr. Malana Karenga and his interview that he had on 88.3. And anytime you want to call in and chime in, you're more than welcome to. We're going to pull up that clip after we get these graphics off screen. And also, again, thanks Sister Khadijah, Brother Shaheed. Check us out tomorrow on the open line on 88.3. We're going to have some interesting conversation about Kwanzaa tomorrow. I think we have our special guest, Ms. Janice Green, will be in. She has a wealth of information she want to share with the community. Let's see, we can pull it up, and we'll go right to it again. Okay. we have a little technical glitch. We're gonna solve it. We got to turn the Bluetooth on again and into the mixer, and I'm gonna let you know how we do our technical stuff over here. Let's see, we're not connected. We'll connect, and then we'll be back on the air with the interview. Just a second.
You are listening to the Anchor podcast version of the Open Line Radio Show.
Okay.
This show is edited.
Yes, we are back to the open line. In this segment, you can reach us at area code 33 KIEE 88.3 FM and KOCZ 94.9, our sister station. You're on the superstation covering most of South Louisiana with the Open Line Radio show. We have on the line Brother Takuna. Do the introduction.
Yes, our guest, Dr. Maulana Karenga, is a blessing to us this morning for being on the air and to share his wisdom and his knowledge and his work with us. And he's the reason why we are celebrating Kwanzaa. I'm going to give just a little brief introduction of Dr. Karenga, and I will let his wisdom, his thoughts, his explanation of Kwanzaa and the purpose of Kwanzaa be the substance of what we hear and know from the man himself. Dr. Maulana Karenga is professor and chair of the Department of African Studies at California State University, Long Beach. Long Beach. Dr. Karenga is the creator of the Pan-African cultural holiday Kwanzaa and Nguzo Saba, and author of the authoritative text titled Kwanzaa, a celebration of family, community, and culture, as well as his new book on the message and meaning of Kwanzaa, bringing good into the world. An activist, scholar, he is chair of the organization US and the National Association of Kawadi, the organization and executive director of the African American Culture Center and the Kawadi Institute of Pan-African Studies, and also co-chair of the Black Community Clergy and Labor Alliance, BCCLA. Dr. Karenga is also the author of numerous scholarly articles and books, and I will let him share that when with us on the air as he sees fit. But we have Dr. Karenga here this morning so that we can get from the man himself his idea, his thoughts as to why Kwanzaa. Good morning, Dr. Karenga.
Good morning, sir. How are you doing?
Good, and it's a
Happy
pleasure.
Kwanzaa.
It's a pleasure just to be in the studio audience with you, conversing with you on the phone. You have had such a powerful impact on my ability to work as an activist, starting with the organization we have annually called Ujima, and many other organizations and efforts that we have used the principles and have brought those principles alive. So I personally thank you.
Asante Mashukan. So here is our Kwanzaa. Happy Kwanzaa to African people everywhere throughout the world, African community. And we bring you all Kwanzaa greetings of celebration, solidarity, and continued struggle for good in the world. For Kwanzaa is a special season and celebration of our sacred and expansive self as African people. It is a unique Pan-African time of remembrance, reflection, reaffirmation, and recommitment. It is a special and unique time to remember and honor our ancestors, to reflect on what it means to be African and human in the most expansive and meaningful sense. And it is a time to reaffirm the sacred beauty and goodness of ourselves and the rightfulness of our relentless struggle to be ourselves and free ourselves and contribute to an ever-expanding realm of freedom, justice, and caring in the world. And finally, Kwanzaa is a special time and unique Pan-African space to recommit ourselves to our highest values and to teach us to live our lives and do our work and wage our struggle in dignity-affirming, life-enhancing, and world-preserving ways as we continue forward on the upward path of our ancestors.
Yes. Brother Karenga,
what would you say is the importance of Kwanzaa at this turbulent time in the world for Black people as we're being killed wholesale? We're being economically squeezed out. We've been socially disjointed, culturally misused and abused. But some of that has always occurred, but now it seems to be at a heightened state. How important is Kwanzaa, or the understanding of the principles of Kwanzaa, for Black people to engage in?
Hey, bro. Appreciate what you said and asked if I understand correctly. First of all, I wanted to go back to how to say my philosophy. My philosophy is Kawaida. So the organizations or the National Association of the Kawaida organizations, and also my institute is the Kawaida Institute of Pan-African Studies. So Kawaida
Yes.
is the word. And then in terms of how does Kwanzaa, or rather the principles of Kwanzaa, help us in the struggle we're waging, we have to understand that Kwanzaa was an act of freedom, an instrument of freedom, and a celebration of freedom. That is how I designed it. It was an act of freedom, and this relates directly to the question. So, but there's always a preface to the question. There's always a context. We got to lay the context for the answer. So Kwanzaa was designed purposely as an act of freedom, an instrument of freedom, and a celebration of freedom. It's an act of freedom because it was born in the midst of the Black freedom movement. And there was a struggle to be ourselves and free ourselves. It's always a dual aspect to our struggle. Even though people talk about freeing themselves, we know that if you can't be yourself, you can't free yourself. If you don't know who you are, you don't even know what's happening to you. If you keep saying, I'm Blackish, then when the white man kills you as a Black person, or the police shoot you and kill you as a Black person, you can't even make a claim because you said you wasn't Black. You say you Blackish, right? You say you got 50 different other secondary and tertiary identity rather than Black. So the great thing that we had to do, first of all, is to be ourselves, right? To be our Black selves, our African self. This is what has been taught by all the great leaders of our time, that we have to accept ourselves in dignity-affirming, life-enhancing, and world-preserving ways. So Kwanzaa was an act of freedom in that it broke through the psychological chains that the European had put around our mind.
Yes, we're
It
back.
broke
We're
through
back.
the catechism of impossibility. Took
we want
the
to show
definition
you
of
that
who
clip
we are
we had on the
from
air,
our oppressor
and we
and
could
put
come
it
back
in
to
our
the
own
clip,
hand. Because we know that one of
in
the
a few.
greatest powers in the world
Brother
is the
Wallace,
power to
are you there?
define reality and make others accept it, even when it's to their
Brother Wallace, are you
disadvantage.
there?
And so
Hold
one of the
on,
most
brother.
important aspects of
try to
Kawaida
bring you up into
philosophy
the.
is it dares to redefine our world in our own image and interest. Second, it was
Hello?
an act of
Brother Wallace?
it was an instrument and is an instrument of freedom in that
getting
it
my,
calls us together to sit down, reaffirm the bonds between us. That's practice
Hold on for a
unity.
second.
That's practice
Brother
self-determination.
Wallace?
That's practice ujima, etc. Right? To sit down and
Hold
meditate
on.
on the
I gotta-
awesome
I
meaning
gotta
of
pause this
being
graphic now.
African in the
Now go ahead, Brother Wallace. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I'm back,
Kwanzaa.
man. You know, your one-man band. Okay. Go on, my
Yeah,
brother.
well, I just want to wish everyone a happy Kwanzaa. You know, I just want to say to you that you're doing a wonderful job with the podcast, with the director of my show on Friday, our Community Matters show. You know, and you bringing some important issues up. You know, people don't know, but you was talking about Jeff Landry. He's getting ready to decrease, not increase, our SNAP benefit or food stamps or whatever people recognize it to be. He's not increasing it. He's going to decrease it.
Wow.
So the things that, you know, we bring up to the people, you know, they should be concerned about. I hope everyone had a wonderful holiday on yesterday, however they want to call it. You know, I believe in my Jesus, you know, and when I say my Jesus, it's mine.
Right.
You know, whoever, however anybody else believes, that's on them. You
Right.
know, but you know, you had a big dilemma, and it's a funny thing. They all want to charge us insurance,
Yeah.
but when it comes time to pay up, they they don't want to pay up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And but you got to have insurance. And then if you don't have insurance, you got a penalty against you.
Right.
You know,
Right.
knowing
And
that,
no way they let you take a car off the lot and don't have insurance proof of insurance to drive it most of the time, especially those
Right.
predatory lending operations like Clean Slate Motors. And so that's why my mission for the rest of my life is to expose them. Even if I get compensated, I will expose predatory lending operations such as Clean Slate, Roan Insurance Agency, and Blue Fire. And I'm going to continue to say it, and nobody can make me shut up about it. You know, put me in jail. I don't give a damn. My thing is to prove that people are being exploited by these people, and they are making up tons of money off people. Then when it comes time for them to pay off Brother Wallace, they put all types of roadblock. And the only way I see what they're doing is because of the color of my skin.
right, right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when you got the insurance, they didn't realize the color of your skin.
Right.
Because somebody else got the insurance. Well, the car company got the insurance to make sure they was protected.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
But now, they have a dilemma. So by them having a dilemma, guess what they is? They finding out who you are.
Right.
You know.
And
So-
it's a big old scam because my previous insurance company, I had lower rates for full coverage because this is about full coverage.
Yeah.
A significant lower rate, up to $100 in a lower rate. I went up to pay extra $100 with this car company, with this dealership and this insurance agency. So that tells me that's a scam. The people who are going to get paid off will be the Clean Slate Motors. That's who will get paid off. And they will be made a profit off a car that has some significant mechanical issues, you know?
issues. Yeah. But, you know, those mechanical issues, man, when those cars come in, they don't have a verified mechanic,
Right.
you know, to make sure that these cars are ready to go, ready to run you at least 50, 60,000 miles with no problem. They
Right.
don't do that. You know, the car look good. Most people see the car look good to them. You know, well, let's go in here and sign some paperwork. And then you have all these problems coming down the road. But
Yeah.
man, I'm glad you came out of this safe. You know,
Yeah.
you showing the pictures of how this car caught on fire.
Yeah, they
know?
have no interest in helping. Everything, the bill is coming to us on the vehicle. They have no interest. They uncaring. They're not worried about. They haven't been worried about whether I was all right or anything. They're worrying about my cell phone record for the month of December. And this happened one day into the month of December 1st. That's so crazy.
they want-
And
what
a
they
secured place like a convenience store, the food and fun franchises, which have cameras all around it. Even if they was questioning everything, they got cameras of me rolling in there and getting out the vehicle after they saw smoking. This is the issue right here. The insult to one's intelligence by these insurance companies. And the Louisiana Insurance Commission do not regulate these companies. What are we paying them for? What are the taxpayers' dollars paying them for to regulate these predatory companies like these insurance companies? This is so sick what these people are trying to do.
Say like Brother Paul say, wake up, Louisiana.
Yes.
Wake up. You know, because we are getting duped all kind of ways.
All kind
You
of
know?
ways.
Yeah, you know, and like I said, you know, these stores gonna start suffering because Jeff Landry is decreasing, not increasing, decreasing. The SNAP benefit and stuff like this here. When he decreases, the if you was getting say $100 a month, ain't no telling what you're gonna get now. You might get maybe $40 or $50 a month.
Right.
So when you start decreasing what you're supposed to have, shame on us.
Yes. Yes.
But we're not paying attention. For 2024, we need to start paying more attention to our elected officials, the people that we supposed to be voting for in office, see where they going, see what they're gonna do. All these Donald Trump supporters,
Yes.
I,
Yes. Okay, my
can't
brother.
tell you.
I
Okay,
think my
I can't-
phone is buzzing.
Okay, all right, my brother.
All
Hey,
right. Thank you so
good
much, Brother
stuff,
Riley. Really appreciate you. Thank you.
Good stuff. All right.
Okay, we have another caller. Caller. Hello.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes,
Welcome.
Brother Jay.
Welcome, Sister Khadijah.
Yes, another good segment on Real Talk. I wanted to mention it was something that Brother Wallace had said when y'all were talking about what went on with Brother Jay. You on?
Yes, I am on. Hmm.
Okay, yeah. Well, y'all was talking about what went on with your vehicle. Well, I wish you would have put the address
Hmm.
of Clean Slate Motors. I wish you really would have put the address, or you could give it to us. But I'm
On the
trying to find
corner
out.
of Ambassador and Johnson Street, right on the corner where that split, like you're going on the Ridge Road, right where that split at. Yeah, you can't miss them.
Okay. Well, then that's real important because people getting their income tax check. Now, let me ask you this.
Yes.
Which I already know the answer to it. Did they give you a loaner?
No. Despite
But
I
you
had
had
full
full
coverage insurance, and despite wasn't told, they say, look at your contract. We don't do this. We don't do that. We don't. I said, well, you would have never let me get off the lot with if the vehicle didn't have full coverage. These people are some even the insurance company are doing predatory lending.
Yes, and we need to inform the community about Clean Slate Motors.
Yes.
Clean Slate Motors.
Yes.
Brother Jay, I wanted to also mention that this guy Macklemore, he's a Grammy-winning rapper, and he's a white man, and I mean he's a intelligent, conscious white man, and what he stated was that hey, he learned from Michael Jackson, NWA, several other high profile black rappers, and though he stated that he talked against the Grammy, he said he called some of the ones that were nominated to let them know he understand where rap came from.
Right.
It was the pain, it was the police brutality of young black kids and stuff. And though he's white, he wanting to make sure that that's not forgotten.
Right. Yes, definitely.
And I think that that's very pleasing of him because a lot of times our rappers have negative comments about them, which some of them surely deserve. But to come out and have someone of the opposite sex, not to say that they're trying to validate rap worth a lick, because he understood where he came from. He understood that rap opened the door, and it was through the young black men and women heartaches. But some of the music you have today, like the Little Red,
Sexy Red.
Oh,
Sexy Red.
yeah, her.
Yeah.
Yeah, not if that's not some of the most craziest stuff in existence. I do see that you have the 7 principles of the Nguzo Saba and Umoja, which is unity, Kujichagulia, self-determination, Ujamaa Collective Work, and Ujima and Responsibilities, Ujamaa Cooperative
Right.
Economics, Nia Purpose, Kuamba Creativity, Imani Faith. Well, we want to thank you so much. Thank y'all for all the work that we're doing, and happy Kwanzaa.
Yes, sister. And we'll be online tomorrow on 88.3. Hopefully with special guest Miss Janice Green talking about Kwanzaa
Oh, yes.
on tomorrow.
Yes. That's going to be a very good, another enlightening program.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Again, we're winding down here on Real Talk TV, technically the last show of the season. The time go by so fast because we always have so much packed in. And again, I'm sorry about my rant, but I want to use these platforms that I am on to expose some wrongdoing. And even if the wrongdoing happens to oneself, this is unconscionable what's going on in 2023. Even after giving people your hard-earned money, they take your money and do whatever the hell they want and tell you to kiss their you-know-what. So that's the way I feel about companies like that. Again, and we will try to close it out with Brother Takuna and Dr. Karenga here on Real Talk TV. Thank everyone, the staff and management of the AOC Community Media, and this technology, this wonderful technology where we could actually come live on location and stream the show. Consider becoming a member, consider contributing, consider underwriting a show. If you like a show particular, reach out to AOC Community Media and say you got a particular show you want to underwrite. Again, these things are based on the love of the community, but also they take funds and resources to put these shows on. So consider underwriting your show of your choice. So I just want to say that, and I'm going to try to bring up Dr. Karenga again, and we'll roll with that here as we go into the sunset. Again, thank you so much.
Principles of Kwanzaa help us in the struggle we're waging. We have to understand that Kwanzaa was an act of freedom, an instrument of freedom, and a celebration of freedom. That is how I designed it. It was an act of freedom, and this relates directly to the question. So, but there's always a preface to the question. There's always a context. We got to lay the context for the answer. So Kwanzaa was designed purposely as an act of freedom, an instrument of freedom, and a celebration of freedom. It's an act of freedom because it was born in the midst of the Black freedom movement. And there was a struggle to be ourselves and free ourselves. It's always a dual aspect to our struggle. Even though people talk about freeing themselves, we know that if you can't be yourself, you can't free yourself. If you don't know who you are, you don't even know what's happening to you. If you keep saying, I'm Blackish, then when the white man kills you as a Black person, or the police shoot you and kill you as a Black person, you can't even make a claim because you said you wasn't Black. You say you're Blackish, right? You say you got 50 different other secondary and tertiary identity rather than Black. So the great thing that we had to do, first of all, is to be ourselves, right? To be our Black selves, our African self. This is what has been taught by all the great leaders of our time, that we have to accept ourselves in dignity-affirming, life-enhancing, and world-preserving ways. So Kwanzaa was an act of freedom in that it broke through the psychological chains